Hey there, thanks for joining us this Sunday PM edition, sponsored by HB Neal Construction. I'm meteorologist Johnny Lively. We don't have much going on the Tamco Live Doppler radar this afternoon, getting into our evening time hours. You can see that it's been pretty quiet today and really all weekend long. High pressure has continued to keep everything mostly hot and mostly dry, but we do start seeing some changes. We'll talk about that here coming up. You look at the satellite and radar, look how dry it is across the state of Texas and really just in parts of the plains as well, too. That high pressure brings in lots of dry air, not only on the low levels, but the middle to upper levels. Everything's kind of sinking. We don't have a rising motion, so very unfavorable environment for some showers and thunderstorms, but we do start seeing that change as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, but very dry right now in those middle to upper levels, thanks to our sponsor once again of Tamco. Look how warm it is, or I guess you could say hot. It is still 452, and we've got low to mid 90s, pretty much north of the I-10 corridor. I-10 down towards the coast is into the upper 80s to low 90s, pretty warm still. Thanks again to our sponsor of Switch Electric, showing us what's going on. We've been talking about this Saharan dust, large amounts moving in really kind of tonight and the next couple of days. I think the worst of it's going to be throughout the day on Monday, and then this will gradually start thinning out by the time we get into Tuesday evening and into Wednesday morning. This also keeps pretty much tropical development in the Gulf pretty quiet. Don't see anything going on, but we do have an area that the National Hurricane Center has marked. They're shaded in yellow over there. There's a 20% chance for development. This is just low odds. We'll continue to keep watching this. Month of June and July, you see these fronts. They either kind of linger down into the Gulf or they kind of go off towards the East Coast, and this is exactly what we'll be watching is this old front will actually go off and towards the East Coast, kind of like what it's doing right now. In the next couple days, we'll see if it gets some maybe area of spin, and National Hurricane Center might name this, but the biggest thing is we'll see some of this moisture kind of go into parts of the East Coast and then also get into portions of like Florida and also get caught up as that high pressure moves off towards the north, and we'll show that here in a second. We'll see some of that moisture actually start probably coming our way once we get into Wednesday and Thursday. I don't think this really changes our forecast, nothing drastic by any means. We're still going to be hot. This doesn't change much. You see that high pressure that's been over us really this whole weekend. It finally starts sneaking off towards the Ohio Valley as we get into Tuesday. And by the time we really get into Wednesday and Thursday, look at that door that opens off towards the east. We'll start seeing some of that flow from Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, all of that from the East Coast. We'll see that moisture starts getting tied in, and this starts moving into other regions. So you get out your handy-dandy radar I guess, Wednesday into Thursday. You'll pull it out in the afternoon hours. You'll see some of these showers and thunderstorms moving in from Mississippi, getting into Louisiana, then our region as we get into around the afternoon and evening time. Heat of the day and the moisture kind of combine. This is when we see our best opportunity for the showers and thunderstorms. But we don't see any of that right now going on. This evening is going to be mostly quiet as we get into Monday and again on Tuesday, pretty much around 10 to 20% coverage or less. We're going to stay pretty much on the drier side. We stay very isolated Monday and Tuesday. It's not until we get middle of the week, once that high pressure finally moves off, we actually start seeing the better rain chances. So here we are. This evening, you see, it's pretty much mostly quiet, 10% coverage or less. I think we're going to kind of shut everything down. We tried to get some showers in southwest Louisiana this afternoon. Didn't happen. But as we get into Monday and Tuesday, just 10 to 20% coverage, and then the door opens up for a little bit better coverage by the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday. And then 4th of July this weekend on Saturday does not look too bad. Still have the chance for rain, but the coverage is not too bad. And again, a lot of times this is during the afternoon. By the time we get into the evenings, I don't think this will be disrupting any 4th of July plans at all, but we'll continue to keep watching. Rainfall totals this general week, you see, nothing too extreme, nothing too heavy. If you do get the rain out of these isolated and scattered showers and storms, mainly on Wednesday and Thursday, we're really looking at just 1 to 2 inches of rain. Maybe the worst case scenario, 3 to 4 inches. Again, not everybody's getting this. Coverage is about 40 to 50%, maybe getting up to 60% by Wednesday and Thursday. But other than that, it is not going to be a big rainfall event. Temperatures tonight, it's going to be warm and muggy, sponsored by Seals before. They're not the ones to blame. I'm just showing you that it is going to be warm and muggy, what we have this time of year. Closing out June, the next couple of days, those overnight lows are going to definitely be very sticky into the upper 70s, pretty much into the low 80s. And then tomorrow, low to mid 90s, and the heat index anywhere from 100 to 106 degrees down there towards the coast. Hey, I was at the beach over the weekend. It was still pretty hot, even though the temperatures were into the upper 80s. You think it's slightly cooler. It's still pretty hot down there. It's nice to have a breeze, though. Here's our 7-day forecast for southeast Texas. Saharan dust, a large amount moves in this really tonight, I guess we could say. The worst of it is going to be throughout the day on Monday, and then starts thinning out by the time we get into Tuesday evening. So if you have any upper respiratory problems, kind of keep this in mind on Monday and Tuesday. And then by the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday, we see that high pressure move off towards the north. Moisture starts coming in towards the east, and we start seeing the opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms Wednesday and Thursday. And then 4th of July, Saturday, doesn't look too bad. Still have a chance for rain, but the coverage is low. Same thing for southwest Louisiana. Now, I don't think we're going to have too much rain really Monday and Tuesday, just 10 to maybe 20% coverage by the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday. That's when we start seeing the chance for rain kind of sticking out the rest of the week to open the door for the month of July. And then on 4th of July, Saturday, we still have the chance for at least some isolated. Maybe we get to scattered. I just don't think this is going to be enough to ruin any of our outdoor plans. And also, we'll kind of go over there towards the Houston area. We don't really show this much in our videos, but since it is the 4th of July weekend coming up next weekend, just want to kind of show the same general thing. Monday and Tuesday, very isolated. Wednesday and Thursday, we start seeing the chance of rain kind of picking up, and then it lingers a little bit as we get into the 4th of July weekend, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to disrupt any of our plans at all. A lot of this stuff happens during the afternoon as we get into Friday into this weekend, heat of the day and the moisture, and by the time we get into the evening time hours, don't think this is going to mess up any of our 4th of July plans at all. So thanks again for tuning in to the Sunday PM show. Hope y'all had a good weekend. See y'all tomorrow on the Monday morning show. Again, we've got the Saharan dust kind of moving in tonight. If you got any upper respiratory problems, definitely keep that in mind on Monday and Tuesday. That starts kind of thinning out as we get into Tuesday night, especially by Wednesday and Thursday. That high moves off. We start seeing some moisture kind of moving in, so we see that Saharan dust kind of thin out. But we'll kind of see that kind of off and on the next couple of months. But I'll see y'all tomorrow morning on the Monday morning show. Thanks again for tuning in to the Sunday evening. Y'all have a good remainder of your weekend, and thanks again for tuning in. Y'all have a good rest of your Sunday, everybody.
Gulf Coast Weather Solutions is sponsored by.
At Gulf Coast Weather Solutions, we focus on delivering reliable weather forecasts. Our new app provides reliable weather updates and alerts no matter where you are. With real-time weather alerts and warnings, you can stay informed and prepared wherever you go. Download the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app today on the App Store and Google Play, and stay connected no matter where you are.